Yeah, as I said, the 17 turnovers, and I think we just didn't match their physicality, and, we needed to clean it up.
Two teams, two very different coasts, one ultimate goal. The road to the championship may be months away. But tonight, we got a preview of just how dangerous one of these squads can be when the lights are bright. We came into this matchup knowing the stakes weren't about the standings. Not yet. No, tonight was about measuring strength, testing depth, proving that the Indiana Fever could still dominate without their star rookie sensation Caitlin Clark on the floor. Across from them, the Chicago Sky, a team looking to find consistency, battling their own injuries, and searching for answers before the grind of the season takes its toll. Both squads missing key pieces, both refusing to use that as an excuse. From the tip, Indiana came out like a team that had been told all week they couldn't win without Clark, and wanted to silence that noise. It started with Lexie Hull, eyes locked in, timing the passing lane perfectly. Swipe, she strips it clean, Carlson corrals it, and suddenly the Fever are off and running. No hesitation. The ball finds Aliyah Boston in the high post, and that's bad news for any defense. Boston, who's been unconscious from the field lately, wastes no time, showing why she leads the league in field goal percentage. A quick drop step, soft touch money. Chicago tries to counter. They switch up early, forcing Howard to perimeter. But Tiffany Howard, she's been here before. A pump fake gets her defender airborne, and she drills a tough fadeaway over an outstretched hand. You could feel it. The Fever were locked in. Then came the dagger to set the tone. Carlson, stepping into a rhythm three from the top of the arc splash. The Fever bench erupts. 8-2 run to start the game. But this wasn't just offense. Defense was fueling everything. 3 rebounds in quick succession, led by Kelsey Mitchell finding space inside for an easy lay-in. Chicago needed an answer. Fast. Enter Ari McDonald. The Fever guard checks in and immediately lets it fly from the corner. Bang. Next trip down, same result. 2 threes in less than 90 seconds, and the Fever's bench mob is howling. Chicago, meanwhile, is scrambling to plug holes in their defense. Chicago tries to go inside to Angel Reese. A couple pivots, looking for her spot. But Howard meets her chest to chest, forcing a miss. Howard controls the board, outlets to Mitchell, and in 2 dribbles, Kelsey has the defense backpedaling. Off the Boston screen, she steps back, mid-range, pure. And here's the thing, that wasn't just scoring, that was a statement shot. Oh, we can score in any way we want kind of shot. Chicago attempts to regroup. Dana Evans checks in, but Carlson is a hawk, reading her dribble like a book. Swipe, gone the other way. The Fever don't always finish on the break, but even when they miss, they're there to clean it up. Dantas crashes the glass, secures a rebound, and the Fever reset. Lexie Hull finds herself in the corner again, her sweet spot, and buries another triple. 9 points for her in the early going, and she's grinning ear to ear. Now, here's where you see good coaching. Chicago tries to slow the game down. They run the clock, set double screens, and aim for mismatches. But Boston is just too smart defensively. On one possession, she forces a pass out of the paint, then rotates perfectly to contest a 3. Mississippi Fever rebound. Mitchell slows it down this time. She calls for the Howard screen, gets the switch, and pulls a deep 3. Splash. The lead swells and the Fever look unstoppable. If the first quarter was about setting the tone, the second quarter was about turning up the heat. McDonald stays aggressive, pokes the ball free again, goes coast to coast, and earns the foul. She's been a spark plug, changing the energy every time she's on the floor. Chicago has no real answer for her pace. Howard is a force inside, absorbing contact, lowering her shoulder, and dropping in soft hooks with either hand. And Boston, she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, sealing her defender perfectly, reading help defense before it arrives, and dishing to open shooters without even looking. At the half, the Fever lead big. But it's not just the score, it's the body language. Indiana looks loose, confident, and connected. Chicago looks frustrated, hesitant, and unsure where to attack. The key stat? Ball movement. Nearly every Indiana bucket has come off an assist. The passes are crisp, decisive, and made with purpose. No wasted dribbles, no forced isolations. And the defense?
I mean, the group has been amazing. They've been really great at helping me integrate into everything. And so, we're on the road for...
Absolutely smothering. The Fever are switching seamlessly, closing out on shooters, and denying the paint entirely. Chicago comes out with more fire. They go to Reese inside, who draws a foul and knocks down free throws. They hit a three in transition. You can hear their bench trying to will them back into the game. But every mini run is met with an answer. Mitchell steps into a three. Hull gets a corner look and drains it. Boston fakes a pass, spins baseline, and finishes through contact. The Fever are unshakable. Midway through the third, Chicago runs a set for Van Lith. She catches at the wing, looks to attack, but McDonald is right there. She pokes it loose, chases it down, and delivers a perfect bounce pass to Mitchell on the break. Layup, timeout Chicago. The camera pans to the Fever bench. Everyone standing, clapping, smiling. This is what a connected team looks like. The fourth is all about professionalism. No letting up, no sloppy possessions. Carlson nails another deep three. Boston hits a mid-range jumper after a beautiful pick and pop with Mitchell. Howard muscles in for another bucket inside. Even late in the game, McDonald is diving for loose balls. Hull is chasing shooters off the line, and Boston is battling for every rebound. This isn't just about winning. It's about building habits for the playoffs. As the clock winds down, the Fever bench is on their feet. They've done it. A dominant win, wire to wire without Caitlin Clark. The takeaway is crystal clear. This team has depth. This team has chemistry. And this team is dangerous. The East better be ready, because the Indiana Fever aren't waiting for the future. They're here now. We have to start with Ari McDonald. Tonight, she wasn't just a bench player giving quality minutes. She was a heartbeat of Indiana's energy. Every time Chicago tried to mount a push, McDonald was there with momentum-killing steal or momentum-building bucket. Think about her sequence in the second quarter. She strips Van Lith clean, accelerates like a sprinter, and even though she doesn't finish the layup, she draws defenders in and finds a trailer for an easy bucket. Those are winning plays. They don't always show up as points in the box score, but they change the flow of the game. Her 6 quick points in the first half gave Indiana the cushion they needed, and her defensive tenacity forced Chicago into rush possessions all night. Then there's Aliyah Boston. What more can you say? She's a matchup nightmare. Too strong to be bullied inside, too smart to be trapped, and too efficient to be left alone. Boston doesn't just score. She dictates the geometry of the game. Watch the tape. Every time she sets a screen, she's reading the defense, knowing whether to roll hard, pop out, or seal for a deep catch. That's veteran-level decision-making from a young player. And tonight, without Clark's playmaking feeding her constantly, she showed she can create offense through positioning and timing alone. Her footwork in the post was textbook, spins, drop steps, and a couple of nasty shoulder fakes that left her defenders guessing. If there's one word for Lexie Hull tonight, it's clutch. She found her rhythm early from the corners and never looked back. But what stood out...
On to the next. Today sucks, but we're playing every other day, so it's okay, let's learn from this one and go get the next one.
3. Chicago misses, and instead of drifting back, she sprints the floor, spots up, and drills a triple at the other end. That's a 6-point swing created purely by effort. Tiffany Howard was the enforcer. She battled inside with physicality, but she also stepped out and hit tough mid-range shots when Chicago dared her to. Those baskets matter. They prevent defenses from packing the paint against Boston. Howard's ability to score without needing a lot of dribbles is huge for Indiana's spacing. She doesn't overcomplicate. She catches, reads, and attacks decisively. Mitchell played the role of floor general perfectly tonight. She knew when to slow things down and when to ignite the fast break. Her connection with Howard and Boston was on point, and her vision created high-percentage looks all night. And Sydney Carlson? She's a steady veteran presence that keeps everything glued together. Her early three-pointer set the tone, but it was her defensive communication and composure under pressure that really stood out. You could feel it. From the bench to the floor, everyone was engaged. Players were on their feet after every big shot. Coaches were animated in huddles, and the communication was constant. That's what chemistry looks like in real time. By the time the final buzzer sounded, there were smiles, high fives, and even a couple of playful shoves. In the locker room, you can imagine the mood, confident but not cocky. This wasn't a fluke win. This was a product of preparation and trust. And let's not forget, this wasn't just about who put up the points. It was about the collective effort, the energy off the bench, and the way the Fever controlled the pace from the opening tip to the final horn. Every time Chicago thought they were closing the gap, Indiana slammed the door shut. Whether it was a transition three, a crafty pick and roll, or a defensive stand that forced a turnover, the Fever had an answer for everything. That's not luck. That's preparation meeting execution. We saw players trusting each other, making the extra pass, and staying patient even when the shot clock was winding down. That's the kind of discipline that